Yes, guys, how you doing? Welcome back to Football Inc. I hope you have had a wonderful start to the day. I hope you are all happy and healthy, keeping the things that you love very close to you. Guys, I've got someone very close to me, this geezer right here. I love him too. Guys, please do smash the like button. It's game day for Tottenham. It's game day for Liverpool. It's game day for many teams that have the privilege of playing in the European competitions. It's not for everybody. It isn't for everybody. It is for your favourite club if you're watching today in all likelihood. Let us know who you support, where you're from, and what you think about whatever it is we're talking about. Please smash the like button, smash the subscribe, and hit those notification bell buttons when you are available and accessible to do so. Lastly, guys, this show is always, immediately after the show, it's uploaded as soon as possible, pending YouTube's processing. It's always immediately uploaded to Spotify, where you can watch us back when you're out walking the wife, or you can listen to us back on Apple Pods and all that jam too. So if you enjoy that sort of side of the game, then please smash a follow over there and give us a 5-star rating. Johnny, how are you? Game day. How are you?
Yeah, mate, I'm so excited. My big game, though, is tomorrow. To all those guys watching in Cyprus, Paphos versus Villarreal, the real highlight of the round. No, some big games tonight. Listen, in the Champions League, for a team like Paphos to have made it this far is incredible. You know, we saw what some of the teams have done in the Europa League, and to be in this competition and the amount of money that's involved for these smaller clubs is absolutely humongous, and we shouldn't forget them. Arsenal with a nice easy kickoff today, Sean. Sean, just to say, it's first of all lovely to see everybody in the chat. Thanks very much for support. Just to say, Sean, what is it with the press fascination with Arsenal? Arsenal in injury crisis. Gyökeres could be out. Right.
Spurs, you know why, Johnny? It's exactly the same reason why everybody talks about Arsenal who don't support Arsenal on YouTube. It's because Arsenal's fan base love it. Arsenal's fan base are more active relative to the size of everybody else, proportionately, than everybody else, right? They're more passionate. They love the content. You know, AFTV broke the mold. It had Robbie Lyle been a Manchester United fan, bigger fan base, I'm not sure it would have kicked off quite as successfully or quite as well as AFTV did, because Arsenal fans just love the content. And I think that everybody realizes it. You've got YouTubers that do it. You've got the press that do it. If you talk about Arsenal, it's going to get more views and clicks than most other clubs. So, but yeah, you're right. They do seem to bring attention to all of their little micro problems and then blissfully pass over all of the major chasms that exist in other squads.
I mean, Manchester City not having Rodri, their key player, right? But Arsenal with God knows how many players they've got in depth. All we heard was Arsenal's amazing depth. Now they've got 4 injuries.
Yeah, and it's injury crisis.
Injury crisis. Injury crisis. Come on, it's enough. It's enough. I just not listening to the narrative. They're playing Slavia Prague tonight. The one player they probably can't do without, though, Sean, is probably Declan Rice, who is an absolute monster. He's absolutely upped his game this season. Could be probably one of the best midfielders in Europe at the moment with Caicedo.
Who does take the title right now as the best Premier League 8?
It's between Rice and Caicedo for me. Rice is adding goals to his game. He's taking the free kicks. He's taking the set piece. He's taking the corners. His delivery is unbelievable. His tackling. His goal scoring. He's the complete player. And that's why you pay £100 million, Sean, and not go to the bargain bucket and try and pick one up for 15 quid to turn into 150 million. You know?
You say that, but Caicedo was 8 million quid, I think.
To Brighton, then 100 million.
How much did he cost?
Yeah, but to go to Chelsea is another 100 mil.
yeah, of course, yeah. But can Tottenham find the 100 million pound player when they're 10 million quid? Arguably not without the data, right? Everyone's data now, but no one does data like Brighton, like Tony Bloom.
I'm not sure what data. Maybe we're using an Amstrad 67 for our data. I'm not sure.
Still using 56K dial-up.
Yeah, our Commodore 67. Dialing up. Yes, we should have some data for you by the end of the month.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, it's not, I mean, everyone can access the data. It's how you interpret it, right? And that's the science. And I guess, you know, like I've said this about Tottenham, again, always bring it back to Tottenham, but just generally, Man United, you know, Newcastle, everyone could do better in that regard. And I think that there's two problems, right? One is, I do think it's very difficult to build those models yourself if you don't know what you're doing. And then you can bring people in, but bringing people in that are experts that then have to build them, you know, via their own engineers or whatever, all of that stuff takes a hell of a long time. And it to build the platforms, the processes, is far easier, mate, in this day and age with AI, with taking over and all of the money that's going into that direction, just to go and buy a fledgling data company. There are hundreds, thousands of them in every corner of the globe that would be able to just come in there and go, right, what is it you need? Okay, cool. And they get somebody that can be the hybrid between the data analysts, the engineers, and the people that know what they're looking for, and then to figure it out. Tony Bloom is not like, he's very, very good, and Matthew Benham are very, very good, Star Lizard, all that stuff. I understand that there was obviously synergies because those things were sports prop betting agencies before they became football science, before their data science model. But I'm sure there's other prop betting companies that use that data science. I'm sure it'd be just easier to spend 5-10 million quid on buying a fledgling company, because it would pay for itself in about 3 years if you're good at it. The other concern, Johnny, just super quick, is there a limitation on the data science model 100%. For teams that are bigger?
Yeah,
like
well,
Brighton and Bournemouth and Brentford are a size where their fan base doesn't mind you buying a 17-year-old from Iceland. But at Newcastle, Tottenham, United, the fans want the Caicedos, not the Beliebers.
Well, look, the thing is, I've always believed it's 50-50. You know, I watch a game. I've been watching kids football since I'm a long time, many years. Used to go to under 16s, under 18s with my best mate, who's an agent, and you know, I've seen it all. And sometimes with the eye test, you can see or you can spot someone at a flash. I mean, I'll go back. I was watching a game, Watford youth under 18s. And I was watching the game and I was talking to the guy on the sideline. He says, "What do you think?" I said, "There's only one kid on this pitch that's any good." He said, "Well, I said, "No." He said, "Who's that?" I said, "That kid over there." I pointed to him. He said, "That's my boy." I said, "What's his name?" Turned out to be Ashley Young. But what I'm saying to you is that I believe that data is great. Eye test is great, Sean. But there's one component that supersedes it all: content of character, right? What is the character? We have seen so many times in football, great God-given talent pissed up the wall. And then we've seen other players which weren't given God-given talent, but what they have is the dedication to improve their game and work on their game to become the best, aka Harry Kane, aka, you know, there's lots of examples of players, you know, who have risen, you know, to the task. And I think it's that mental aptitude, settling in.
And the scary thing is, though, Johnny, is that in 2 or 3 years' time, you know, if you watch the conspiracy show that we do, you'll see that there's videos out there of new technologies where you put a set of earphones in, and some sneaky little boss can actually measure your brainwaves to figure out where your attention span is and what the capabilities and the competencies are. So at some point, being able to measure someone's personality will also be data-based.
Yeah. But I mean, the Don, for example, is very much on content and character. The Don would never have signed Ndombele, for example. I mean, the writing was there, the signs were there about his application. It's application and dedication. Eze, for example, he was always the kid that, you know, remember, Eze got thrown out by Millwall, had to beg to get to QPR. Here's a guy that's worked and worked and worked on his game. When the rest are finished, he's out in the training ground practicing free kicks, practicing with his weaker foot, developing his game. And that's the difference. It's hard to find these type of players, but they're normally the ones, the Jordan Hendersons and the you can think of all the players who just keep going. Robbie Savage, right? He was never a great footballer, but he's carved out a great career in football by working on his game. And there's lots of examples. And then you look at some players like Jadon Sancho, Yao Felix, lauded players who, just sort of pissed a lot of their career down the drain. We've seen them all fall by the wayside. And poor old Dele Alli, is another one who was right up there at the pinnacle of his career and fell off a cliff. And it's sad to see. It really is.
Yeah, without trying to sort of drag that one up, and I don't want to seem insensitive.
Yeah,
but I don't buy the whole. The reason why I didn't work out was because of what happened to me when I was 10. Not that I know, God, why should I have an opinion on that? And who am I to question it? But just generally, I feel like if you're someone that had those things happen at 10, they didn't stop you from becoming a great footballer from the age of 16 to the age of 23. And then all of a sudden, there's like the PTSD kicked in at 24, 25, or whatever. I don't know. I find that a bit of a stretch.
I personally think it was the time he got held up at gunpoint in his house with an armed robbery. I think that.
How old was he when that happened?
He was living in Hadley Wood at the time. 24, maybe 25, maybe.
Oh, so
that's a trauma. Sure. That's a trauma. That's a proper trauma.
Yeah, that happened last night, didn't it? So didn't a Premier League player get held up in the street?
No. Well, here's a story. Here's a story. I will bring it to you now, actually, because I was going to bring it up anyway, because I was sharing this with my mate before. An unnamed Premier League footballer, reportedly worth in the region of £60 million and in his 20s, has been left shaken up after being threatened with a gun on a packed London street by a top football agent. According to reports, the latter was arrested a few days later following an incident, but he's yet to be charged with any offence. Police officers.
The agent pointed a gun to him.
An agent. It doesn't say the agent. It says an agent, right? Police officers were called to the scene at 11:14 on September 6th, and the star, who hasn't been named yet by the Sun for legal reason, and his friend managed to escape unscathed. 2 days after the ace was shot at gunpoint, the police visited the agent's £2 million home in Hertfordshire to arrest him. He was given bail on September the 9th. A 31-year-old agent who represents England internationals, though, through his agency, was detained last month on suspicion of brandishing the firearm with intent to cause fear and violence. Not only that, but the suspect is also under investigation for allegedly blackmailing and making threats against a friend of the footballer, who also managed to leave the scheme unplugged. Upon being granted bail, the agent has been informed that no contact with the footballer is allowed, while officers have also imposed a ban on the agent travelling to the player's club or training ground or car park or anywhere in the vicinity of the player. As of early November, the Premier League team in question has remained anonymous. Any ideas, guys? That's a story and a half, isn't it?
That is a story and a half, yeah. That is a wild story.
Sean,
first and foremost, like sitting there saying he's been bailed, but he's been saying, you must not go back to the training ground. You must not go to the club. I mean, look, if it's a £60 million footballer or a player that's worth 60 million, then you'd be thinking Premier League, right? And you'd be thinking London team. There's not many championship level players that are worth 60 bar. You know?
No. Morgan Gibbs and Marinakis.
But if he's in London,
no,
you'd think it would be a London team. So is it a Fulham player?
Could be Arsenal, Hertfordshire.
Arsenal, Fulham, Palace. There's enough of us. Brentford, Tottenham. Don't know. Maybe. Anyway, look, wild. And aren't you supposed to go to prison for 5 years if you pull out a knife? So what's the charge for a gun?
I mean, listen, I thought you went to prison if you pulled out a sharp tongue and wrote something on X.
Do you know you do. 12,000 people, I think, this year have been in the last year or whatever have been arrested and for speech crimes. But my mum sent me. My mum likes to get. She likes to follow on petitions, right? And she sent me this. I'll read it out to you. I pissed myself laughing when she texted me it. She said, "Where is it? Sign this petition. Where is it? Here we go. Please sign this petition to make it an offence to carry a catapult in public without lawful defence." A catapult? Well, what are we doing here? That sort of shit. Like we've gone back to like Henry VIII times, you know. Do you give me your money or so? Like Bart Simpson.
Hot oil. Apparently, I'm not allowed to have hot oil on my roof in case intruders come and I pour it over them.
Oh my God!
Listen,
amazing. These petitions.
It's all
the catapult. Ban the slingshot.
We all had them as a kid. We all used to have them as a kid, and try and throw shit through a catapult. Was it Jed Spence? Some are speculating.
Yeah, he definitely likes to play gangster, doesn't he?
Let me tell you something, Sean. That would have been a fantastic story for our "Would I Lie to You" football.
Yeah, that would have been a good one. That would have been a good one. That would have been a great one. Can't do it now. Can't do it now. Listen, let's get into a couple of transfer stories, mate. Before we get into the predictione, or not predictions, just the preview rather of tonight's games. Really interesting one about Rodrigo.
Yeah.
So his intermediaries have sent out the signal to apparently Arsenal and Tottenham, and maybe Liverpool. He was suspicions of him leaving on loan in the summer. It never materialised. He was promised, suggested that he would get more minutes. He's played 2 games all season for Real Madrid. He is certainly surplus to requirements for Xabi Alonso. They're giving more minutes to Arda Güler, the young buck, Mastantuono, I think his name is. He's also taking up minutes. And obviously you've got Vinny Jr. in there. And I think he needs to move, mate, because the World Cup's coming up. And you have to be honest, mate, when you think about the amount of talent that actually does, like I used to mock and go, like, how is it that what's his name gets into the team? Like, sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Richarlison still gets into the team. You look at these players. That there's only going to be about 7 of these players that can get into the Brazilian team. You've got Paqueta that can play attack. This is just forwards. Rodrigo, Esteval, Luis Enrique, the guy at over in Russia at Zenit St. Pete, Mateus Cunha, João Pedro, Vitor Roque, Richarlison, Vinny Jr., if I haven't already said him.
Igor
Thiago, Igor Jesus, maybe. There's a lot of players that are chomping at the bit to try to get into that World Cup squad. You could make the argument that if Rodrigo doesn't get any minutes, doesn't leave, and stays at Real Madrid and gets sidelined, there's a lot of players, if they have strong seasons, that they might get in there ahead of him. And what I would say, just quickly, is this argument about he would probably choose Arsenal ahead of Tottenham. Is he going to go to Arsenal and get 100% of minutes, Johnny?
Well, he's not.
You also got Gabriel Martinelli, by the way, who's also another Brazilian who's fighting for that spot.
Listen, I think that's rubbish. But look, this Rodrigo story is like, should I stay or should I go now? We all know the song. This is the Rodrigo story. The battle of egos at the ground. You've got Rodrigo, you've got Vinicius Jr., you've got Mbappe, you've got Jude Bellingham. It's like, and like Alonso's not playing them. Him and Endrick, Rodrigo and Endrick, are obviously surplus to requirements. Real Madrid have got eyes on centre backs. Maybe this is the time, but I think it's a loan. I can't see anything.
But where would you go if you're in the Premier League? Do you go to Arsenal, where first of all there might be the pursuit of Semenyo? Second of all,
minutes. He needs minutes. That's all he needs.
He's not going to get as many minutes at Arsenal as he is at Tottenham.
No.
He'll play 100% of minutes at Tottenham if he was to come to Tottenham.
Correct.
So is there a chance of a loan deal for Rodrigo to Spurs?
Listen, we could put in every bid we want. It's just whether Rodrigo's ego will allow him to go to such a place. You know, obviously he'd prefer to go to Liverpool, where he'd maybe play more. But even there, it's not guaranteed with the abundance of players they've got on that left-hand side. So, look, I don't know. But I can see Endrick definitely coming to the Premier League. But
Endrick's going to Lyon.
He's going to Lyon?
Yeah. Well, apparently it's like, but he's basically committed to them in January. So he'll go there. On the left, like people saying Newcastle,
how they
you're going to get 100% of minutes ahead of Anthony Gordon? I don't think so. I think the only place where he goes, where he knows he's going to get 100% of opportunities and play in the Champions League, is at Tottenham. But at Arsenal right now, you have Martinelli, Trossard, and Eze all fighting for that left-hand side spot.
Yeah, they've got more than enough. I mean, unless their injury crisis forces them back into the market. Yeah, Aston Villa's a good shout, James, in the chat. Aston Villa's a good shout. I can see that happening with Gedebnin at the helm and his Spanish connections. Definitely one to look out for. Xavi
they're not playing in the Champions League.
Pardon?
They're not playing in the Champions League.
Who?
Villa.
No, they're not, but they're playing in the Europa League. So,
why would you choose Tottenham above Villa then?
It depends where Spurs are, isn't it? Villa could go on to win the Europa League, couldn't they? Spurs aren't going to go on and win the Champions League.
But if it's a loan deal, maybe I'm pitching something that's unrealistic here. But if Endrick says, if Rodrigo says, okay, I'll go to the Premier League. My priority is a 6-month loan. I'll go back in the summer and I'll figure out my post-World Cup solution. Where do I go right now? I need to be playing every game, every minute, and I want to be playing at the highest level. Tottenham, for me, are above anybody else in that pecking order, apart from the Premier League, apart from Liverpool or Arsenal. And I think you could make an argument if you're pitching the story to Rodrigo that at Arsenal, if I'm Paratici, I say, Rodrigo, you go to Arsenal, you're going to get 25% of minutes. You go to Liverpool, you're going to get 30% of minutes. You go to Tottenham, you're going to play every single minute. And we are 5th in the league. And we are screaming out for creativity. And we're in the Champions League. Aston Villa don't have that. Newcastle. What's that?
And you've got
your mate, so you can bunk up with Richarlison.
You can link up with Richarlison.
Yeah.
Yeah. That should be the winner. That should be the winner. Another interesting one, Sean, is Kobe Mainoo loaned to Napoli. Can you see McTominay coming the other way, leaving?
Yeah, I spoke about this before. Possibly, but I don't know why does Conte need Kobe Mainoo for depth, or does he want to do it because he thinks that Scott McTominay is going to be sold for big money and Napoli need to raise funds?
Well, Napoli need to raise funds, but they've been looking at Kobe Mainoo for a while. They tried to get him in the summer, didn't quite happen. Kobe Mainoo's not getting minutes; he needs minutes. But I don't know. If I was McTominay, I'd stay at Napoli. It's a hard one. Look, Man United seem to be now in a position where apparently they've turned the corner and everyone wants to move to Man United now. They're after Mark Gay, they're after Semenya. Kobe Mainoo can go. They might take Conor Gallagher. They're signing everybody, and I have to wait and see. They'll probably do business in January. The fact of the matter is, with one game a week and a whole week to train for one game, bearing in mind they've got no Carabao Cup, they've got no European trophies to play for. The only thing they've got
is that attractive. Is that attractive in January to certain teams or to certain players? No European football. I think they'll have European football next season, United, for sure.
Not if you're trying to get to the World Cup and impress. You need as many games as possible, don't you? So I'm not so sure about that one. I
don't rate Kobbie Mainoo that much, though, to be honest.
Well,
I think he's a good player.
It's still coming on.
Yeah. But I think if you look like, I saw people earlier on. Who was it? Was it Goldbridge? No, somebody. Gary Neville. Sorry, Gary Neville said that Manchester United's spine is aging, and they're kind of neglecting the spine of their team with older players like Casemiro, etc. And I'm like, that's a fair point, especially at the centre back as well. But like, you've got a guy called Kobbie Mainoo, who I don't know why he's been frozen out by Amorim. Is it just a horses for courses thing? He doesn't fit the system that Amorim wants to play.
I mean, what I don't understand is if you're not going to play him and you don't want to play him, get your asset out where he's going to be playing and increase his value. Don't decrease your asset by letting him to rot in the reserves, destroying the confidence. I don't believe it's a good thing. I really don't. Listen, I don't understand the mindset of some of these people who run the club. Sometimes self-harming. Spurs used to do it with some of our players. Didn't see him, didn't play him, didn't sell him. Interesting story here. Liverpool believe Alexander Isak is not in the right physical condition, but they have no concerns about him being a success at the club. Is this like we were talking about with Kolo Muani, a situation where, people say, what does it matter if they miss pre-season? They can just get fit, can't they? But there's obviously a huge difference between getting fit on the training ground and pre-season training to get a player up to speed. Because, they spent all this money on Alexander Isak, and he looks miles off it. Kolo Muani, whilst he looks better than Richarlison up front, he doesn't look anywhere near the version that was playing for Juventus and for Eintracht Frankfurt or PSG or France, for that matter.
Yeah. No, there's definitely a need for a pre-season that includes not just personal fitness, but also just getting into the synchronicity of your team's setup. But I mean, Isak trained by himself. He didn't play many games in the I don't think, and then he trained by himself every day, right? So it was that's horrendous. Then you've got to be self-disciplined to be sitting there and doing sprints, and you're not doing too much ball work. Maybe you've been given a personal coach or whatever to sit there and do little passes with. But what can you really do? He then moves to Liverpool. Liverpool going through their own transgressions, their own transitions, and their own struggles. I think it will just take time, mate. I think it will take time. I concur. Like he's not match sharp. He's probably match fit, but he's not match sharp, like focused and everything. I also think, mate, he's probably been affected by all of the hate that he's got. He Newcastle fans are a special type of fan. Like they're unbelievably loyal. They're unbelievably passionate. But they also didn't. They had the big tifo for him at the end of last season, and a couple of months later, they got little micro tifos saying, "Get out of our club, you traitor!" Like the kind of the 180 from being.
He did behave badly.
Yeah, of course, he did. 100%, he did. I'm not in any way saying they shouldn't do what they want to do. I'm just saying that stuff probably does. These guys are human beings, aren't they? I mean, Stel was saying last night that footballers from the age of 8 are sort of taught the hard knocks of being a potential footballer. Listen, each to their own. But I think that the idea that these guys are they're machines and they're robots that don't get affected by.
Would you go to an abuse clinic at 8? Right, son, we're going to take you into the room and we're going to shout at you. We're going to abuse you. We're going to call you all the names under the sun, but don't let it bother you. It's all part of the training.
It's all part of the training. It'll do you good. This is going to hurt me a lot more than it's going to hurt you, boy.
Tell me something. Someone in the chat, I think it was Marshall, said, should Liverpool have kept the receipt for Alexander Isak? What they are lucky about is they got Ekitike. Because if it was just Alexander Isak things will be looking very, very, very glum. Vindaloo, enjoy the game against Slavia Prague later.
Yeah, listen, 345k a week. We got new owners, Vindaloo, that are more than ambitious. Apparently, we're going to find the colour of their money. We're going to find out very soon whether or not the apple falls far from the tree. Joe Lewis is gone. We now got Charlie and Vivian Lewis who are talking all the good game, but we're going to see when it comes down to it. You know, whether or not something like that can materialise. Someone like a Semenyo, someone like a, you know, I still think we're going to end up with someone like an Adamola Lookman or a Hayden Hackney to play the DM role. Not that I've got a problem with that, but generally speaking, you know, let's see the colour of Tottenham's money under this new ownership in January, because we need a lot of help, and sure. I think it's lipstick on a pig.
Sean, are you telling me I'm not going to get Kenan Yildiz or Dusan Vlahovic?
You might get Dusan Vlahovic, but you're not getting Kenan Yildiz. Never going to happen. Hello? Listen, Johnny, other stories out. It doesn't just affect Tottenham; it affects a lot of clubs. Apparently, this morning, this story about this Jonathan David story that we broke yesterday. He's been offered around this morning. He's being offered a lot of clubs: Aston Villa, Manchester United, all the teams that were initially interested in him last summer. Well, they've all been given a second crack at the whip. The only difference is the whip this time is going to cost you about 40 million quid rather than the free transfer that you could have got him for, that Juve ended up getting him for about 4 months ago. Very clever bit of business from Juve, that, isn't it? Sign him, flip him, and sell him on in January.
They're denying it now. They're saying it's, you know, it's false. It's false, and everything is great in the yard. Not sure I believe it, but we shall see. It looks like Barcelona have got a 20% sell-on clause on Victor Roca, who's gone back to Palmeiras, having not done so well in Europe, and he's gone back there and he's banging in the goals left, right and centre. Man United and some other Premier League clubs are interested in him. Not sure how much he'll be going for.
Who's that, sorry?
Victor Roca.
Roque.
Yeah, Roca.
Yeah, look, he's doing well, mate. He's doing well over in, where is he now?
Palmeiras. Yeah.
Good player, mate. He flattered to deceive at Betis for me. I didn't rate him. So
was he too early though for him, Sean?
Sorry?
Was it too early?
Barcelona was too early for him.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Was it too early? Young kid, you know, foreign land.
But he's only been back in Brazil for 9 months or whatever it is. Like, what's changed?
Stop banging in the goals, mate.
In Brazil?
Yeah. They've got footballers in Brazil, mate.
But like, it was a year ago that he wasn't particularly smashing it in.
Oh, no, but yeah, you said that like he just returned to Kuwait. He's
don't hate on Kuwait. There's none of that Kuwait, you know.
Kuwait, no, they can't. He says Barcelona are seriously interested in tying up a permanent move for Marcus Rashford after his brilliant start to the season. 6 goals and 7 assists so far this season. Was it Ruben Amorim? Was it Marcus Rashford? Or was it Man United? Who do we blame for? Or was it school dinners?
Mate, I think you have to blame the football club, because the Rashford story is replicated with the Onana story. It's replicated with the Højlund story. It's replicated with just about every player that ends up leaving. Anthony as well. People that go to United on big money, they end up struggling under the goldfish bowl that is Manchester United. They end up leaving, and then they end up becoming the player that they were always supposed to be, just not under the Red Devils shirt. You know?
I just it's such a mixed message club right now, with all that's going on, players leaving, surplus to requirement. I mean, are we going to see Xerxes and Kobe Mainu leave in January and actually go and smash it?
Yeah,
entirely possible.
Probably. Garnacho still looks like a brat at Chelsea, but he looks like a dangerous brat. Although I was talking to that Don, the Chelsea fan, Don. I'm not sure of his name, but Don something. I think his name's Don, actually. And he's pretty harsh. He thinks that Garnacho needs to do more. But I think that he's keeping Jamie Gittins out of the team. And that's Jamie Gittins. How much did Jamie Gittins cost in the summer, mate? 55 million quid. Which, by the way, brings me on to this story. I want to ask you this: is Xavi Simons and Florian Wirtz the latest of the German import, the imports from the Bundesliga that have flopped in recent years? And I'm going to name some names for you, right? I know we've got the Voltemades and that are doing well, but Jadon Sancho was a massive flop from Borussia Dortmund. Christopher Nkunku, massive flop when he went to Chelsea. Kai Havertz, arguably it took his time, but a bit of a flop.
Yeah, not
Christian Pulisic, another flop for Chelsea. Timo Werner, another flop from Germany to Chelsea and then Tottenham. Sebastian Haller, another flop at West Ham. Nicholas Füllkrug, another flop at West Ham. Naby Keita from Leipzig, another flop. I could carry on, mate. I could carry on. There's a lot maybe we shouldn't be reading too much into these German superstars because they end up being predominant flops. Is Jamie Gittins going to be one? He's not. He can't even get.
Well, he's English. He's English, right? He's English, right?
Jadon Sancho.
Yeah, he's English. But Slobozai and Gravenbach, as Marshall mentioned there, are listen. There's always exceptions to the rules, but we've seen Florian Wirtz bullied out of games. We've seen Xavi Simons just get smashed out of games, and it's a bit embarrassing. The way he's been playing at the moment. But we know Foxy loves a player, and apparently Francolino, the Bissau Guinea player, is banging them in again.
Yep.
On before, I think it's 13 goals in 13 games and 4 assists.
Yeah, that's right.
Francolino.
Unbelievable. He's a really good player. And you know what, Johnny? He's also a physical specimen to the point where if you're of the same thought process that I am, that football is moving into that sort of direction of just, athleticism, strength, size, power, bigger, faster, stronger, that kind of thing, wins the day, then Francolino is a young buck who he's broader than Samu Agahawa, and Samu Agahawa is quite broad. He's faster than him, and Samu is very fast. He can hold the ball up. He has good trickery. Can play off the left as well, or at least he hangs left. Pause. And I like Francolino. I do. And Francolino was second in the Danish league and obviously top of the Europa League, mate. He's a very good player. He was on the bench when Michelin came to Forest. He was on the bench until the 80th minute, so I didn't get a chance to really see him. But
why would they do that? Why would they do that? Are you worth more if you hang to the left, Sean?
I think you probably. I don't know. I'm not sure if you are, mate, because I do think it's the most saturated position in football, left wingers. But if you do hang to the left, you certainly have an imbalance in your in something that's hanging.
I didn't really I'd be worth more if I hung to the left. But thanks for keeping me posted on that one. It's a new bit of information that's come to me.
Lewis Holtby, another one, by the way. Bears K, big up to you, my man in Woking. Big up to you.
Guys, do you want to do the super chat, Shawnee?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we've neglected them, haven't we? Apologies, guys, apologies. Super Houdini, don't matter what time or day he appears, like magic. Choo the train has well and truly commenced, Dino. We're very appreciative as always, mate. I hope you're okay, buddy. I hope you're keeping yourself out of trouble. Are you going tonight, Dino? I'm not going. Are you going? Let me know. Bantry Coys, big up to you as well. Very generous, €5 super sticker. Thank you very much, Bantry Coys. Absolute legend as well. Like the Houdini, always here, always supporting. As is Toby Juan Kenobi-san. How are you, my man? Big up to you very much indeed. As the man formerly known as Cat Funt. We appreciate you very much, Toby Juan Kenobi-san. And my man from Woking fame, just down the road here, the Bears Cave 81. Big up to you, buddy. Thank you very much indeed for your super sticker as well. Guys, the super sticker train has commenced. We're picking people up all over the world. If you fancy, then you can stick in a super sticker. Fun fact, there's 230 people here. If everybody put in a couple of quid, then Jonny would be able to get himself a whole new array of hats, a whole new array of shirts from all different types of
t-shirts. And actually, talking about Toby-Wan Kenobi, Toby Overworld unveiled himself as a masked singer in the
I've seen that,
version of the Masked Singer.
Did you actually listen to him? Did you actually listen to him sing? No, I didn't hear him sing. I'd like to know if he has a good voice on him.
I haven't heard it, to be truthful with you, but I'm sure it was very good. Sean, have you got that little graphic I sent you the other day of the managers from 20 years ago? Have you got that?
Yeah, hang on. I'll put it up on the screen now. 1 second.
It's quite an interesting little thing that was sent to me about managers from days gone by. We talk about the footballers returning to old school, long balls, long throw-ins, feisty, going back to the sort of 1970s. Well, look at this here. Look, managers in April 2022. Everton, David Moyes.
2002,
sorry. Managing in April 2002, Everton, David Moyes, Cheltenham, Steve Cotterill, and Celtic, Martin O'Neill. Fast forward to 2025, and all three managers are back at the same club. What is the chance of that? 23 years.
There's probably others as well, mate. There's a trend, mate. Let's bring Sam Allardyce needs a spot with this whole trend towards boring set piece FC football. Sam Allardyce needs to go back to Bolton. You know that'll work out really well for him. He needs to get Gary O'Neill back at Wolves.
Yeah, Russell Martin to Southampton.
Yeah, we'll get the man back at Stoke. What's his name?
Tony Pulis.
Get him back at Stoke. Bring Rory Delap out of retirement for the long throws. Mate, give him one last dance. It's weird, isn't it? Absolutely weird. It's interesting. I definitely think there's a bit of cyclicality going on in football. Jonny, let's move the story forward, mate. Let's have a little look-see towards the Premier League, not the Premier League, the Europa League
Champions League
tonight. Champions League. Sorry, my bad. Champions League football tonight, mate. Some big games. Let me get this up on the screen. Pause. Says the man who's hacked. Let's have a look-see at the fixtures. We got Napoli against Eintracht Frankfurt. Yes. First name out of the hat tonight at 5:45. Also at 5:45, Slavia Prague and
with injury hit Arsenal.
Injury crisis Arsenal over in Slavia Prague. We got to take those boys to our place. They got 2 games against North London opposition. We'll start with the Arsenal team as they're a English team. Shouldn't be any problem for them, should there, mate?
No, it shouldn't be. I'm just going to call them injury hit Arsenal or injury crisis Arsenal. That should be their name now until they win the title. They need to have an inbuilt excuse should it all go to pot. So we'll call them injury hit Arsenal against Slavia Prague. It should be a cakewalk, Sean. They've not got Gyökeres, probably rest a few players. But let's be honest, their C team should be good enough to beat Slavia Prague. They've got Sunderland on the weekend. They've got plenty of time. And as usual, they've got the advantage of playing nice and early to give themselves plenty of time to recover and be home in time for dinner. So, I can't see anything other than an Arsenal win. Yourself?
Yeah, I agree. I look at the Slavia Prague team. I don't really recognise too many of their players. I don't know too much about them, so I'm not going to be able to really, throw any colour on that. But look, mate, it's difficult enough to get the ball off Arsenal, let alone concede a shot, let alone concede a shot on target, let alone concede a goal. Look, going away in Europe is always difficult, but Arsenal seem to have sort of turned the corner with any struggles that they've had in that regard. I think they're going to get the 3 points. So, yeah. I'll say probably 2-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah, Napoli versus Eintracht Frankfurt.
I think this game's really interesting, mate. I think this one's an interesting one. Napoli top of Serie A. Billy Gilmore, Scott McTominay, Anguissa that was on that free transfer in the summer. Lovely midfield. They've got a lovely team. Buongiorno, another free transfer. Napoli gobbled up a couple of freebies this year. Spinazzola in the left back spot. Rasmus Højlund and David Neves at the top.
I think Højlund's maybe injured, but this is a huge game, Sean.
Is Højlund injured? Is he? Interesting.
Well, he was injured. I'm not sure if he's back. But he has been injured the last couple of games. But this is a huge game because no one expects to see Eintracht Frankfurt 22nd and Napoli 23rd.
Correct.
In the table right now. So when Spurs fans are complaining, and look at the clubs beneath us currently. I know that will probably change after we play PSG, but I still think
tough game. I think that Napoli will probably get this one, won't they?
I'm going to go for a 2-1. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Napoli win for this one. You?
Yeah, I think so as well. Let us know in the chat, guys. Participate in the conversation. Let us know if you've got any takes. If you happen to be familiar with any of these players, any of these teams that we're talking about in more detail than Jonny or I are, and let us know your score predictions as well. I'm going to go for also a 2. No, I'm going to go 2-0. I just think Napoli have got. I mean, they drew 0-0 at Como on the weekend. There are some issues at Napoli. For sure, there's some little bit of disgruntled behaviour, but at home, if the fixture was reversed, I'd probably give Frankfurt a larger chance. But I'm going to go 2-0 Napoli, a little bit like my man Destiny. Big up to you. Let's have a look. See again, mate. At the rest of
Madrid. Atletico Madrid versus Union Saint-Gilloise.
These are the 8 o'clock kickoffs now, right?
Tony Bloom's club won the title. Another great job done by Tony Bloom. The money coming in from his investment from this running the Champions League will be huge. They got one win, but Atletico Madrid doing really badly. They sit 21st. Union Gilloise sit in 24th place. By rights, even with the struggles, this should be Atletico's to lose, right?
Yeah, no problem for Madrid tonight, I don't think. Although Union Saint-Gilloise have done well away from home, I believe. I'm pretty sure they've done okay away from home in the Champions League this season. But I still think that it should be no problem. Interesting game at Bodo, mate.
Oh yeah, this is a
game at Bodo.
This is a great one. The two teams that Spurs struggle to do anything against, Bodo Glimt and Monaco. Now, it's probably a little bit colder in Bodo, maybe.
Yeah,
we're still early doors, but maybe it's still a bit cold. Monaco, pampered in Monaco. It'd be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's 6 degrees. It's 6 degrees right now.
Oh, so it's not. It's not too cold.
Not too cold.
But it's a tough place to go, Bodo, as everyone knows, and they've got some big scalps. This would be another big scalp for them, should they manage to do it. But a win, just one win in this competition, brings them in £1.8 million. That's huge money for these clubs.
Big money, massive money.
Huge
So
money.
I think it's 1.8 million per win. I think it's 700 grand per draw. So Bodo have got. Let me bring back the table. Bodo so far have made, I think 1 point. Let me double check on that. But I think it's 7 Champions League. Carry on your point. I'll look up the finances.
You've also got entry money as well. The entry money just for qualifying is about 30 million, I think.
Yeah, so they get 18.6 million euros, so about 15 million quid for reaching the league phase, and then they get 2.1 million euros for every win, which is a 1.8 million, as I said, and then 700,000 euros, so about 600,000 pound, give or take, for a draw. So if we're working in pound sterling, then Bodo will have made about 15 million quid for the. Plus, they're getting some broadcast revenue as well.
Broadcast revenue is also obviously they get a lower amount because of who they are and their viewership and what have you. But still, It's huge money that they could never earn in the Europa League or in or Norwegian football.
It's great for them as well because they don't really buy too many players from, they don't spend their money on big transfer fees. They got like the hub of Scandinavian football. I'm actually going to go, mate, because I think that teams that play technical football struggle on that surface, and Monaco outplayed us basically by ball on the floor stuff at home, and they were very good with that Akliush stuff. I'm going to say that Bodo are going to win that game. I'm going to say they're going to win it 2-0.
Well, I'm going to say without the Champions League, they would have been known as Bodo Skint. So I think
that's how I felt after last year's semi-final.
Hat-trick. Destiny's calling for. I'm going to go 2-1 Bodo. 2-1 Bodo.
2-1 Bodo. I'm going 2-0 Bodo. Okay, we're both going for a home win. Let us know, guys, what your thoughts are in the chat, and please also smash the like. Don't neglect the like button. The like button loves to be loved, and so does the subscribe button. Let's move up towards this next. Another interesting game, mate. Juve Sporting. Juve in the mood right now, or in the mud, I should say.
In the mud, yeah.
In the mud, yeah.
They're in the mud in the league in Italy. In the mud, sat in 25th place in the Champions League group. Sacked their manager, bringing in Spalletti. Whether or not he can turn it around, they need to turn it around. No wins in 3 games, and home to a Sporting team who won't be easy to beat. I think they sit 12th, 2 wins and 1 loss. I'm going to go for. I think it's going to be a draw, Sean. Tough game.
Yeah, Sporting are joint 11th, and Juve are
25th, I think.
25th. Interesting, by the way. Not only is it Eintracht Frankfurt 22nd versus 23rd, it's also 27th versus 26th with Bodo Monaco. That's an interesting one. Sorry, what was your score prediction, mate? Sorry?
2-1. For the previous game, the Bodo game.
No, Sporting Juve, or Juve Sporting. Juve at home.
Going for 1-1.
1-1. Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm pretty sure Sporting have played 2 games at home of the 3 that they've played. I'm going to go for a Juve win.
Okay.
I think they're going to get out. They're going to get their game. They're going to get their mojo. Their mojo. Sporting, difficult team, though. Difficult team. What's he saying? Sean, show me the top.
This is the big one. This is a game where last season Real Madrid really struggled in the early stages of the league. A part of it, only qualified late on, but no such problem this year against the Liverpool team that is struggling defensively and not firing 100% offensively. We are looking at 5th versus 10th. I think Real Madrid are going to win this, Sean. I'm going to go 2-1. In fact, I'm going to go 3-1 Real Madrid.
Wow. Yeah. Liverpool turning the corner a little bit, though. Salah suddenly finding a bit of form. But the big story here, mate, before I give my prediction, the big story, of course, is Trent Alexander-Arnold returning to Liverpool. Is that going to be a problem for the energy, the atmosphere at Liverpool is always massive. Under the lights, Tuesday night, the beers will have been drunk. The energy will be there. They'll sing their song, and then they're going to turn every time that kid touches the ball. If he starts, but Real Madrid don't have many other options at right back.
Abuse, mate. Abuse.
He's going to get, and that's going to kind of invoke an atmosphere, even if Real Madrid go 1-0 down. And I know, listen, I've been to Anfield. I know you've been to Anfield. I think we have slightly different opinions on the atmosphere at Anfield. I always think that the opinion at Anfield is amazing. They sing their song, and it sends the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. It's incredible. But then when everyone sits down to watch the game, it's very flat until Liverpool score. And I think that tonight, if Real Madrid or if any other team were there and were to score against Liverpool, or it was 0-0, I think the atmosphere, in my experience, or where I see it, and I'm happy for you to disagree, but I think the atmosphere would go a bit flat. But I feel like because of Trent's emergence, if he plays, I feel like it's going to feel like a derby game. And I feel like Liverpool are going to up themselves on that one. I feel like Liverpool, even if they go 1-0 down, because of its Trent, every time Trent touches the ball, the boos are going to ring round. I feel like it's going to feel a bit more spicy and a little bit more, energetic than usual. And on that basis, I'm going to actually give Liverpool a bit of an edge that I otherwise wouldn't give them.
I think Liverpool, historically grown up as a kid, those nights at Anfield, European nights under the lights, they were always special. They create a special atmosphere up there for these games, and obviously they live for them. But for me, I don't think they will play Trent. Do they need to? Do they need to open that can of worms?
Wasn't one player sent off in the Champions League? I'm sure who was it? I'm sure someone in the Champions League.
They were sending off. They were sending offs in the El Clasico. Are you thinking about that?
No. But in the previous game, I'm pretty sure in the Champions League, the previous round of the Champions League, there was a red card for Real Madrid. Was it against Marseille? I think it was, and I think it was Carvajal. Yeah, and Carvajal plays as a right back. And I remember at the time hearing, he's not going to be back in time. He's not going to be back in the Champions League. He won't be out of his suspension in time to play Liverpool. So I think that Trent might have to play at right back tonight.
You might be right, Sean. You might be right.
I could be wrong, but that's what I remember that argument being put around the day after that particular game when Carvajal got sent off against.
Well, Foxy, our man Foxy, who knows a player or six, he says Valverde will go right back.
Okay, all right. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, protect him maybe. But yeah, okay. I'm going to say 2-2.
Desmond, okay.
Desmond 2-2.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, it's a good. I'm going 3-1. Madrid.
You remember the Adebayor Manchester City goal when he sprinted? Like Usain Bolt would have like struggled to keep up with him in that sprint. He sprints 90 meters to slide on his knees and does this in front of the Arsenal fans, and then the people are throwing this shit. Absolutely crazy.
Loved it. Adebayor. Yeah. Okay, the next game is Marinakis, who will probably no doubt be threatening the referee as we speak, at home against PSV. PSV, who have done very well, to be truthful with you. 1-1, drawn 1, lost 1. Whereas Olympiacos haven't won a game, sat in 33rd place, desperate in need of a win. I want PSV to win this one, make no bones about it. Going to be a tough one, though, for them. Fierce atmosphere. But I think PSV have got the team to do it. Ivan Perisic, he's at the end of his career. What was that, 3 years ago, Sean?
He's still doing it, though, isn't he? He's still doing it.
Them balls in, mate. Like he doesn't need to beat his man. He just whips them balls in.
Mate, this is when people that have known me for a long time in the streaming camp, they're probably going to sit there and say Sean's about to say the word cadence. I very rarely use the word cadence, but I think it's always very relevant when we're talking about Perisic. He never had a massive turn of pace, but what he did have was this rhythmic, hypnotic step over process where he just did this. It was always the same. His right foot, his left foot over the ball. And then at some point, you didn't know which one it was. At one of them, he decides to go. And he got past his man every time on the right or the left because he'd do enough step overs at the same pace with the same cadence and then drop his shoulder and go. And the quickest of fullbacks couldn't catch him by the time he'd gone. And his crossing ability was absolutely phenomenal with equal measure, left or right foot. I love that guy. He was brilliant.
I was gutted that we got rid of him way too early. Foxy has declared that Ayoub El Khabi will score for Olympiacos.
Foxy, I was just about to. I was like, you know what? We've got to make Foxy a mod because he needs some sort of elevation because he contributes so much. But you're already a mod. You're the mod father of this show, Foxy, mate.
Yeah.
I'll get you on the channel, mate. If you want to put your head above the parapet, show your face, and make some mate. Get you on board anytime you want. So what are you saying? What are you saying for the Olympiacos game, Johnny? What's your prediction?
I'm going to go for a 2-1 win for PSV.
Okay. I don't know enough about Olympiacos, I'll be honest. I'm going to go, but they're at home. I'm sure the atmosphere will be intimidating. I'll go for 1-1, just to be a little bit different. Let us know in the chat what you guys are thinking. Big up to you as well, Ronald Cooper. Big up Sealand. Oh, Sean and Johnny. Best content. But you were calling me a seal then?
Yeah.
Big up to you, Ronald. Thank you very much, guys. Please do smash the like button. The guys are saying 3-1. Marshall's saying 3-1 PSV. Destiny's saying 2-1 home win. 2-2. Anthony Clark is going for a Desmond. A Desmond.
What about you? Would you wait for a draw?
I'm going for 1-1. I'm going to go for 1-1. I'm not too sure about this one.
The next game is the one that arguably, some would say is bigger than the Liverpool Real Madrid. I don't personally think so. But obviously, Paris Saint-Germain fans and Bayern Munich fans will disagree. But huge game, PSG versus Bayern Munich.
First versus second.
First versus second.
Both have goal differences of 10. Both have scored the most goals in the game in the Champions League. PSG have scored 13. Bayern have scored 12. No one else has scored more. Dortmund have also scored 12. Is this showing on the screen? Yeah.
I mean, I've got to be honest with you. If I wasn't going to the Spurs Copenhagen game tonight, I think this is the game I would be watching over the Real Madrid Liverpool game, just to see your Barcolas, your Desiree Doués, your Ndombeles, your Harry Kanes, and the like.
The winner of the Champions League is in that top 5 spot, isn't it? One of those 5, right? Is there anybody else apart from PSG, Bayern, Inter, Arsenal, or Madrid?
Man City, maybe if they get Rodri back, is a potential.
Possibly, yeah. Liverpool, probably not. And there's nobody else after that, I don't think.
Barcelona,
Barcelona.
Barca, if they get players back.
Maybe, yeah. What are you saying in this one, mate? I mean, massive. It's at PSG, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm going to go for a 2-1 Bayern Munich win. Rested players at the weekend, Bayern.
I'm going to go for a 3-1 PSG. As much as I rate Bayern Munich, I really do. As much as I think they're brilliant, and I think Harry Kane, obviously, is a game changer. I just look at PSG and think that maybe that attacking line, that defensive line is slightly gettable by the pace and trickery that PSG have got in options. And Luis, I mean, what a game! Luis Enrique against the ex-Burnley manager
Vincent
Kompany. Yeah, I just think Luis Enrique will set them up. I just think
he loves company. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He does love Vincent.
I hardly ever see him smile, right? Honestly, I hardly ever see him smile. PSG versus Bayern Munich. Mashing Joe's put African Cup of Nations. Be interested to see, Mashing Joe. Let me know how many players between the two teams will be missing playing in Africa in the tournament. It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, so I'm going to go 2-1 Bayern Munich. Just because
I'm going 3-1. I'm going to go 3-1 PSG. I think PSG will have their dominance. Yeah. It will probably be a very close game. And then the biggest game of the weekend, the biggest game of the entire round of fixtures is Tottenham Hotspur versus Copenhagen. I'll be honest, mate. The only player that I recognise from the Copenhagen team is that Mukuku, ex-Dortmund player, youngster, superstar when he was 17 or whatever. Went to Copenhagen. He's now 20. Plays off the right. Apart from that, I don't know anything about Copenhagen. They're struggling a little bit, though, right?
Yeah, they're struggling. My mate has a player out there, Brazilian. He's come back from injury. I'm not sure if he's on the bench. Who's playing tonight? I need to check. Called Robert. A
very Brazilian name.
A very Brazilian name. Like my other mate, who I love, plays for Fulham, Kevin, yeah. Right? Kevin, Rob. What happened to Jose Feliciano, Enrique, Oswaldo? Garnacho.
He probably has got like 19 other names, but it's just simply I just call him Kev.
Call him Kev for short. Look, I don't see anything other than a Spurs victory. I've got to be honest with you. I'm going to go 3-0 Spurs.
Punchy. I'm going to go for 1-0.
Okay. I'm going to go.
I think it's going to be a ball fest. I think it's going to be. I might end up switching off and putting on the Bayern Munich game.
You might end up go and have a lie down and listen to a bit of Sade. Huh?
Kevin Sade. His full name. Here you go. His full name is Kevin
Santos Lopez
Mercado.
Mercado.
Well done, Foxy. Always here to keep us entertained. That's it. That's our Champions League review. There are some other games though, Johnny. There are some other games tonight. I don't want to go through all this stuff, but the Championship. There's a couple of ding dongs in the Championship, mate. Birmingham, my club, Birmingham at home to Millwall.
That'll be feisty, mate.
That'll be feisty.
Hey?
Real
Millwall.
feisty.
Did you imagine Millwall in the Premier League? V Chelsea, v Tottenham. They will need. Forget the amount of police needed for a pro Pally march. They would need the whole entire police force to police that game.
Millwall West Ham next season if Millwall stayed down. And that's going to be madness.
Played well.
Some big games there, mate. Coventry doing well against Sheffield United. That's a big game. Leicester, Middlesbrough, big game. There's some decent fixtures in the Championship tonight. Don't write off the Championship for some entertainment.
No, definitely not. I mean, the thing was, Coventry looked unstoppable until Friday, where Kiefer Moore scored a hat-trick for Wrexham to beat Coventry 3-2. At that point, they were the only unbeaten team in all 5 leagues, all 5 divisions in England. So, I don't know. I think they'll return to winning ways tonight. Stoke doing very well. Ashley Phillips, regular there. Unfortunately, Jamie Donnelly not able to get a game. But we should see tonight our man at Oxford get a game. Will Lancashire.
Yep. Will Lancashire, yep.
He should be there. Leicester, Borough, Ipswich.
Sheffield United, they have fallen from grace, haven't they? Gee whiz.
No grace there.
No grace at all.
No, they're in
Southampton. And Southampton as well, also in the near relegation zone. And Portsmouth, Pompey, Blackburn. You know, it doesn't look good. Look at Sheffield Wednesday. I mean, obviously, we know what's happening at Sheffield Wednesday, but Norwich, these teams used to be Premier League teams.
Yeah,
all of these teams, Blackburn, Portsmouth, Southampton, Sheffield United, Norwich City, and Sheffield Wednesday were all in the Premier League in the last, 10 years, 11 years? Derby as well. And you go to the top end, and you're seeing, you're seeing Millwall, Bristol City, Preston North End. These guys are all hanging around. There's a tidal change, mate. The tide has shifted.
Well, the yo-yo effect, which seemed to prevail for quite a long time between dropping out the Premier League, bouncing back, your Norwiches and the likes, and your Sheffield Uniteds.
Yeah, teams go up, go down. Teams go down, go up. But not anymore. Not this year.
Really
bad, doesn't it? The teams that went down last year, Southampton, Sheffield United, and who was the third team that went down? It was Leicester. And they're all struggling.
Seriously struggling, not a little bit struggling. And then, you look at the top up there, Coventry, Borough, Stoke, Millwall, Bristol City, Preston, Hull.
God, mate, imagine if Middlesbrough go up. North East football, you got Sunderland doing bits, you got Newcastle always doing bits, and you might have Middlesbrough. And if Middlesbrough, I don't know who Middlesbrough's owners are, but if Middlesbrough were to come up and then have an owner that puts in 100 Milski, you might have a little sustained period of northeastern. I mean, it'd be a nightmare for you, Johnny, who goes to every away game 3 times next season. You go Newcastle, then.
I might have to give that a miss, Sean. I'll have to get that. It's Ipswich, as Foxy, the king of the moderators, Ipswich, not Sheffield United. They're Ipswich doing the best of the relegated clubs, and Kieran McKenna refusing to be considered for the Celtic job. Just before we go, the Wolves job. Eric, 10 months, been linked with the job. Also being linked with the job, who I think will be perfect for him, is Robbie Keane. Did very well with Maccabi Tel Aviv, won the title with Ferencváros. I think he'd be perfect, absolutely perfect for Wolves. What are you thinking?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, I haven't followed his managerial career. I don't know anything about his style of football.
I think Robbie would be great. There are lots of shouts as well for Rodgers, having left Celtic to go to potentially to Wolves. But I'd like to see Robbie.
You think Wolves will stay up?
It's a tough ask, mate.
I want them to stay up, mate, because I really want to see, as much as I don't think it suits Wolves, I think the guy's a danger. Like, I think he's a disaster class, and I think he'll have problems. But, as like a content creator, you like stories. I like the story of John Textor going to Wolves, bringing his connections from South American football to a club that already has a history of bringing a lot of players in that are South American or Spanish and Portuguese types via George Mendes. Him linking up with John Textor. There could be some absolute superstar players coming into Wolves in the next couple of years if they stay up, and if John Textor then gets gets to take them over, or gets at least an investment from that is it Fucon or Funon group, whatever it is.
The Futon group.
Yeah, whatever the
Futons.
Very comfy ownership. The Futon group
might as well be the Futon group. Sent most of this fan base to sleep.
I would like to see that story play out, and it doesn't happen if Wolves get relegated. So,
I mean, Ryan in the chat, who's a big Wolves fan, says relegation 1000%. He's up the game. Look, I'd love to see them stay up. I think it's a massive, massive ask. But, we're only a quarter of the way in, Sean. They could have a good...
They've got a good enough squad, mate. I compare their squad to West Ham's, and I look at the midfield that Wolves have got.
Gomez, Andre, they got players.
Yeah, got Strand, Larson. They've got loads of talent. Is Hwang still there? I think he might be. Yeah, they got good players there, but they just need to get, they need to get a manager to come in that just can inspire them, to get them to playing good football, like a Harry Redknapp type. Come in, shore them up, and get them playing again. Because I don't think they're a team that needs to sit there and scrap it out like a Sam Allardyce. I think they just need to have a little bit of confidence to play football and a bit of a manager that can invoke and invigorate them. Because I think they've got enough talent to play good football and get better results. I think everything's a little bit toxic there for some reason because of their ownership, potentially. But yeah, I'd love to see them stay up. I don't want to see... I like Wolves. I think they're a good team. I don't want to see them go down. I like them.
Right. How did Hwang go from Hwang to Wanker?
Yeah.
How? Hwang. I mean, Hwang was scoring goals. I mean, he's not world class by any stretch of the imagination. But Strand Larson, they were begging him. There's so much interest in Strand Larson. Confidence breeds confidence, and this is a club devoid of confidence until they come to White Hart Lane. Anyone who comes to Spurs can't win a game, can't score a goal.
Dr. Tottenham will see you now.
Come to White Hart Lane.
Yeah. We're like a hypnotist, aren't we? We get you out of your problems. Don't worry about that. Come to us.
Turn it around.
Yeah. I hope... oh, look, Ryan doesn't like Hwang. He thinks he's one of the worst footballers he's ever had. Fair enough.
Wanker. Guys, if you're in the chat, please hit the like button. And if you're here for the first time and you're watching, I know a lot of you don't bother, but please hit the subscribe button. It doesn't mean it costs you any money. You're paying a monthly subscription. It just means subscribe to the channel, i.e. follow. It should say follow, not subscribe. As we're trying to grow the channel. Loads of you did it yesterday. Thanks very much. We're back on the growth trail. And if you hit the like button as well, if you get a moment. Sean, is there anything else?
No, we'll leave it there, mate. It's perfect timing to let everyone go and have their day. I'll be, if you're a Tottenham fan, I'll be doing a watch along this evening. And I'll be doing a show beforehand as well. And then if we have an absolute shocker tonight, if it's a run of the mill, par for the course, decent victory, you probably won't see us on Spurs 5, but there's an outside chance that if it's a real meltdown, then we might appear on Spurs 5 straight after the game. And if not, well, then you'll see us tomorrow. Anyway, Jonny and I back here around lunchtime sometime tomorrow between 12 and 3 or 4 p.m.
Tomorrow. And if you are a Spurs fan and you want to see my reaction after the game, you can see it on X. That'll be me coming out the ground. Hopefully not spitting feathers again. Hopefully singing Wonderful, Wonderful Copenhagen.
Do you know what, mate? Part of me wants to just grab a ticket and just get up there now. Like, leave right now and just go. You know? I might do it. Fuck it. I might do it. You know what? Let's go buy a ticket. Let's go watch the Tottenham. Guys, I'll see you tomorrow or tonight, whatever. Now I've planted the seed in my head. I might actually go to the game rather than doing a live stream. You'll find out either way. Just check out Spurs Talk Show. Check out Jonny H3232. Check out Talking Tottenham 1882. Check out Sean Butler TV. Check out Football Inc. Check out Spurs 5. Check out Conspiracy Theories at Rabbit Hole Ramblings. We'll see you tomorrow, guys. We love you all. Thank you so much for all of your support. You are all awesome. We love the little community we have going on here, and wish you a wonderful day, whoever you support. And good luck to all of the English teams tonight. As always, guys, we'll see you tomorrow. It's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from him.
Bye.